Hey guys, what is up? Today we are in my kitchen making one of my favorite meals. Well, I wouldn't say that this meal specifically is my favorite meal, but my favorite meal of the day, which is breakfast. And so I found a really good recipe. So since Hosstile has came out with the new blueberry donut protein, I've been looking up different recipes. I've been trying things just to see what works, what sticks, what tastes good, macro wise, what is good as well, ingredients. And I have a few that I'm gonna share with you guys, but today I'm going to share blueberry protein pancakes. Super simple. I feel like it's like a staple in our breakfast. Everyone loves pancakes. And I feel like this is a very simple recipe to make. Pancakes are easy to make. And protein pancakes can be, I think with using protein, sometimes things can come out kind of funky, you know, like it's not as moist, it's rubbery. So you have to be like super careful on, I guess, how you mix things. But anyways, I found this and it is made with, we're going to be using almond flour, which I already have everything mixed together here. I've got my dry mix here, and I've got the wet mix here. So with this one, we've got almond flour. We've got, and I'm going to share with you guys at the end exactly the recipe so that if you guys like this, you guys have it, you can snap it and save it and make it in your kitchen. So it's going to be 1.5 cups of almond flour that I've got in here. I've got 1/2 cup of protein, of the blueberry donut protein powder. Then I've got 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and I also added like a 1/4 teaspoon of salt to that. So I've got that mixed right there. Then for this, we've got 3 eggs, we've got 2/3 cup of, and I use almond milk, and I use the vanilla almond milk, which is so good. And I feel like the vanilla almond is a really good choice because it has it's a vanilla flavor. So it just kind of gives it just like a nice little sweetness to the pancakes, but not like too much. So I add that to that. You can also add a little bit of vanilla extract, which I did. And then after we mix it all up, then we'll add, it's for like 1/2 cup of blueberries that you fold in afterwards. I typically do about 1/2 cup blueberries. I don't like too many blueberries. I just think it can be definitely like an overkill. So I'm just gonna mix this up. Like I said, I've already got my dry goods mixed. Mix that up good. But like I said, I've been trying different recipes, and this one's really good. And I made it for Mike, my husband, and I know he'll always be honest with me, and that's what I want. I want someone to be like, oh, it's good. And he was like, it's really good. So, and it has a really nice just texture to it, especially when you're using almond flour, because almond flour is kind of it's got texture to it, so it's kind of crunchy. So I got that mixed. Then I'm gonna mix my eggs, my almond milk. And so these measurements call for about 6 to 12 pancakes. So it really gives you a good amount, but it just depends on how big you're making them. So when I made them, they gave me 6 pancakes. So I could have made them smaller, but Mike got 3 and I got 3, and it was just oh. I was like, these are really good. Okay, so this is mixed up. And while I'm doing this, I'm actually going to turn on my pan. I'm gonna put it to medium heat, get it nice and hot. We want the pan nice and hot before we put these on. And then we will scoop them out, and I'll do that. So let me do that right now. Okay, so now we're going to mix this with the dry. mix this up. But you can also use coconut flour too if you want. I think the coconut flour with the pancakes, it can be an overkill with the flavor, and it just tastes like pure coconut. So I just think it really depends on what you're craving, like if you really like the coconut, but it's a good alternative. I try to stick with like healthy ingredients, things that feel better on my stomach and digestion. I like having fun with it. Like the stuff is still very reasonably priced. If you're using it like every day, yeah, it can get expensive because almond flour is not super cheap. Okay, so then I'm going to let it sit just for like a minute, just to kind of harden a little bit. And then I'm actually going to heat these up because we don't want them frozen. So these are, I purchased frozen blueberries. I like frozen blueberries. So we don't want frozen blueberries in the pancake mix because it can kind of leave almost a different taste and they're kind of watery still. So it can actually create like a different texture in the pancake. So I'm gonna heat them up for about 15 seconds just to kind of get them nice and warm. And then we'll put them in there. Okay, so I've got this pan going, and I'm actually using coconut oil that I put on the pan. I love cooking with coconut oil. So the recipe with the macros might be a bit different, a little bit more fat, which isn't bad because we're cooking it and it'll give the pancake a nice like toasted flavor on the outside. Usually I use spray, just like a extra virgin spray, but I ran out. So I figured we could use this. It's still really good. I've tried it before. Do it for another 15 seconds. This looks pretty good. Okay, that should be good. So I'm gonna add some of those. Like I said, you can do like a half a cup to a cup, but I haven't like tons of like fruit in my pancakes when I'm taking a bite out of it. Like I still like to taste like the pancake mix with just like maybe like one blueberry in there, you know, or a couple blueberries, but I don't like to take a bite and do it. It's just like pure blueberries or like pure bananas or walnuts or whatever you can mix. So you can even mix like some walnuts in here. I've got a bunch of walnuts, almonds. Walnuts are great for you. So even if you want like a little crunchy in there, would be really good. But this recipe, we're just gonna stick to this so you guys know exactly what the macros are. And like I said, I'm gonna put that there on the end for you guys. Okay, so now I am going to put on the pan. The pan should be done. So this is what they look like, just pancake mix. And I always like using my little saucer, my little saucer spoon. So when you're doing your pancakes, it's easy to just kind of like take it and then it just like pours in there and gives you like the perfect little round pancake. So let me do that. I love pancakes. They are one of my favorite things growing up. I think pancakes, I actually really grew up eating French toast a lot. My dad would always make French toast in the morning and I loved it. But I love pancakes. I just love breakfast. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. That's why when people are like, oh, I don't like breakfast or I don't eat breakfast, I'm like, you're crazy. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But this is really a cool recipe. So really quick while those are kind of doing that, Serving size, 1 pancake is 104 calories. Carb is 5 grams, protein 5 to 6 grams, depending on how big I guess you're making it and how it's distributed throughout the mix. But 5 grams of protein, fat is 8 grams for 1, fiber 2, sugar 2, and that is not including a syrup on top. What kind of syrup you're going to use? Maple syrup. You may not even use it. You may just like it by itself, which I tried it by itself as well. It tastes really good. And then we also used the vanilla almond milk, which isn't that much more than like the regular. So sugar would be a little bit more, but macros are really, really good, honestly. And like I said, it gives you this now recipe calls for like the measurements that I have is 6 to 12 pancakes. So it makes a good amount. So let me check these. Check these guys out. Oh, they look nice and crispy. Yeah, and you know how it is, guys. Like pancakes, they get like a little bubbly on top. So that's typically when we know when to flip our pancake. And I'm always like super, like I'm like, okay, I gotta flip this perfect. And so funny thing is that like we had a flipper spatula, but it like ended up breaking. And I just never bought one, and I just like always use this. So I mean, it works. I just have to kind of flip it a certain way. Let me get my syrup that I use. Okay, so this is all natural table syrup log cabin. And this is actually made with, I like this one because it's made with, it's brown rice syrup, water, cane sugar, brown sugar, natural flavors. I really love this. I think it tastes really, really freaking good, honestly. So we get this over, we do love maple syrup, but it's just like so high in sugar. And I don't use any other syrup because other syrups have like a bunch of crap in it. A bunch of ingredients that are just shit. So these are done. These look really, really good. Let me show you guys in the pan the way it looks. See, like that side is like where the blueberries are, but looks tasty, right? So I'm gonna put these on the plate, show you guys how I serve it. Okay. So this is how they look. Okay. So then what you could do, you don't have to though, obviously this would like totally like ruin like the macros of this, but you can use, we usually do like a sweet cream butter. We do like the salted one. This is the IFBB brand. And it's really, really good. Depending on if you're in prep, off season. I'm sure for a lot of you guys, you're just like a lifestyle, right? So like you can still add a little bit of that butter on there. It tastes really, really good. It gives it like a nice little taste. Right, so then like I told you guys, I've got the syrup, and honestly, like I don't measure it. Like obviously if I'm in prep and I'm wanting to like match my macros, then I would, but typically in prep, I like to just stick to like basic things instead of things like this. I like consistency. And this is just like a fun meal that's still good for someone that is still trying to stay on plan, diet, eat healthier things, ingredients, and you want to stick to your diet, right? So like we need to enjoy foods and not just have just such bland things. And that's when we really start to not enjoy food. It's when we start to have eating disorders in the sense of like there's no balance, you know? And so we want balance in our diet, and this is definitely balance, but it's fun, and we're making it with protein, you know, we have good ingredients. So this is how it turns out. This is how much syrup I usually put on there. And let's take a bite, because I'm really, really freaking hungry. I was like, I'll wait to eat my breakfast doing this video for you guys. Just like that. Oh shoot, Mm. That's really good. And I'm not just saying that. I should be a food critic because I know what tastes good. And you guys will really, really enjoy this. I promise you. It's fun, it's easy, and it's delicious. Hope you guys enjoyed.